Obviously, the rancid accusation that paid investigative journalism is tantamount to the buying and selling of government secrets is being made quite deliberately by the U.S. government and its apologists, with the knowledge that this is what sends people to prison.
Mr. Speaker, the CBC violated its own code of ethics in giving a payoff to Brazil-based former porn industry executive Glenn Greenwald for national security information stolen from one of Canada's allies. Shockingly, Canadians watching the original TV broadcast were not informed of this cash for news scheme. What's more, yesterday we learned that the CBC also grossly inflated the contents of the U.S. documents. According to Professor Wesley Wark, who was a national security expert used by CBC in its original story, quote, "There was no support in the document for the claim originally made by the CBC that the communications security establishment in Canada would lend its technical expertise to the NSA effort." Mr. Speaker, the CBC should apologize for violating its code of ethics, should apologize for concealing its cash for news scheme with a former Brazil-based porn industry executive, and it should apologize for allowing Glenn Greenwald's personal and partisan agenda to direct its news coverage. To the CBC, just apologize.
Obviously, the rancid accusation that paid investigative journalism is tantamount to the buying and selling of government secrets is being made quite deliberately by the U.S. government and its apologists, with the knowledge that this is what sends people to prison. Do you think your critics want you prosecuted? Attorney General Eric Holder has said he has no plans to bring any charges against you.
Sure. I mean, some of my critics have called on me to be prosecuted for the crime of doing journalism, for the crime of informing my fellow citizens and my readers about what the United States government is doing to their privacy almost entirely in the dark. And I think the idea that somehow when you're a journalist and you work for a newspaper that pays you for the articles that you write that uncover government secrets, that's buying and selling secrets, is a way of trying to create a theory that justifies the prosecution of journalists. If that's a theory that somebody embraces, then it means that investigative journalism, which is about uncovering those things that people with political and economic power do that they want to keep hidden, cannot really exist unless you do it for free. And almost no investigative journalists do that. And that's why any kind of calls to prosecute journalists or to investigate them, to read their emails like the Justice Department did to AP and Fox News reporters, is so dangerous, let alone calls to prosecute journalists for reporting on what the government does.